at any time. Please announce your call sign between transmissions, and net control will acknowledge you. If an emergency should arise and you need the repeater, please contact net control by saying break, break. A double break signifies emergency traffic. The net will stand by for you until the emergency is terminated or the traffic is moved to another frequency. Stations who wish to check in are asked to respond with their full call sign using the recognized ITU phonetic alphabet and their name. I'll recognize each station before continuing. Any station who wishes to check into the net, please come now.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec, Bob in Roseville.
California.
William 7 Hotel, Quebec, Radio New in Antelope.
Alpha India 6 Delta Golf, Joel in Florence.
November Romeo 6 Hotel, Anders in Holton.
Land Park.
This is...
We had a double at the very beginning. So far, PGQ Bob, KL7HQR Neil, AI6DG Joel, NR6H Anders, and KI1TTY Jen. Who else is out there?
Kilowatt 6 Zebra Kilowatt, Kelly, Elk Grove.
I got you, Kelly. I think you were the double at the very beginning, K6ZK. Who else?
This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta Carol, Citrus Heights.
Got Carol. Okay, so, and let me just check, N6WLM Bill, do you want to try tonight, or do you want me to call on you if you're going to watch the images on YouTube?
I think I'll sit this one out, thank you, though. My SWR is extremely high on this new antenna, so I think I need to figure out what's going on.
Okay, Bill, thanks. All right, Bob, N6PGQ, are you ready to go?
About another check-in.
Okay, who else is out there?
November 6 Yankee Golf, N6YG, George in Lincoln.
N6YG George, welcome to the Slow Scan TV Net. Thanks for joining us.
Comment?
Go ahead, Joel.
All I can say is, wow, welcome back, George. Long time no hear. Nice to hear you. AI6DG, back to net.
George, do you want to respond to that?
Sure. Hi, Joel. How you doing? Yeah, it's been a while. I heard Carol out there, too. Hello, Carol. I'll be monitoring the net. I'll see if I can pick it up on YouTube.
Sounds good. All right. Bob, are you ready?
Well, hopefully I am. This should be PD 120 and 6 PGQ.
All right, Bob. We're back to analog. A very good theme. Let's go with KI1 TTY Jen for a comment.
Hey, 6JG, this is Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Well, I love this photo. Looks like a neon-esque light with a Shell Station symbol in it, an early thing up top, and some fabulous old cans. I see the Pegasus, and I can't remember who that is, and Co-Skin or something like that. I don't remember. It looks like alcohol. Kind of a bullet beverage thing in the back. Looks like a race bib or something like that. I'm not sure what the thing on the far right is that's hanging. Of course, it looks like a cord across the top. I only have a few pixel dots, just a couple, but the picture's super clear. So lovely. Thanks so much. Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. Back to net.
Thanks, Jen. Kelly, K6ZK, what do you think?
You know, a great copy. By the way, very clear, occasional pixel pops ever, obviously with a big clock in the foreground, and then, as you pointed out, some issues of just basic, it looks like, I'm trying to think what they would call on the foreground of issues of little boxes and not sure what they are. They're just looking at little metal boxes or whatever. It's a great pics. And then in the background, I think this is basically a setup as maybe just a place that you would go to, and maybe in the 50s or 30s or whatever. But anyway, it's a great shot. Over to you, Net, K6CK.
Thanks. This is Net Control, Alpha Echo 6, Juliet Golf, James. Let me call on Anders, NR6H, and then Neil, you'll be next for transmitting an image. Anders.
Good evening, NR6H here. I received a pretty much perfect picture, very clear, very sharp, good colors, and lots of colors with the neon green and the neon red. And I guess this picture is almost 2 hours old, maybe, if that clock is right. And yeah, I echo everything that Kitty said, also with the tins and jars, and there's a little metal cylinder out there to the right also, and a cord hanging across the top. So yeah, looks like a interesting wall in the garage for sure. NR6H. Back to net.
Thanks, Anders. KL7HQR, you're up.
Right, KL7HQR. Good evening, gang. First of all, on that picture, the winged horse, Pegasus, somehow the word Sinclair comes to me, but I may be completely off. Okay, my picture should be P120.
Thanks, Neil, KL7HQR. I made a terrible mistake, and I didn't give Bob N6PGQ a chance to explain his picture. So, Bob, let's do that first, and then we will call on Joel for comment.
Okay, let's see. I grabbed the microphone. The picture I showed, which I don't have in front of me anymore, is a glow dial clock, probably from the 1940s. It's honest to goodness neon. It's not an imitation, and it's a real clock. The picture quality is not real good because the shell image in it is just a reflection of a neon shell sign that's across the building. The cans in there are real old cans. I'm trying to remember what's there. There's a Mobile Oil can. That's the one with Pegasus on it. And there's a Sinclair. Just for Neil's comment, Sinclair had a dinosaur on it. The other one is car wax, for waxing your car, the one that was right next to it. And all the rest of the signs in there, the early Auto Expo, and a few of the other ones are car shows we've participated in. They're just kind of hanging up on the wall. And this is one of those yesterday shots that I said, oh no, I need something for Wednesday. So out popped the phone, and there it was, N6PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. Sorry that I skipped over that part. Joel, AI6DG, comments on Neil's image.
So we've got a couple of people sitting at stools in an In-N-Out Burger, and I know it's an In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger is one of those places where almost every single one of them I've ever been to had almost the exact same floor plan, the same decor. So they're almost all booths except for this one row of stools, chairs, things. I don't know, pillar out of the floor with a round thing on top of it to sit on. They're all booths except for this one row of stools that's right across from the pickup table, and to the left is where the soda fountains are. But the highlight here is these two people. We got a girl on the left, and she's looking kind of funny sideways at this guy who's sitting next to her, who has a cat backpack on his back, and it's a cat holder. So there's a live cat in it. You've got a couple of air holes on the bottom. It's got a clear back. The cat's just sitting there all pretty and happy and looking out, and I'm sure enjoying the sight as as the human that the cat owns wanders around the world. He's got a world to look out at and enjoy. So I've seen these before, so I know this is a real product, and I'm sure cat people love these. They can take their cat around with them. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. George, N6YG, comments. I'll come back to George. Carol, KP4MD, comment on Neil's photo.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. First of all, I want to say, extend a very, very big welcome back to N6YG. George was one of the original operators on the slow scan TV Net when we started back about 12 years ago. It's been 12 years. And he was a regular fixture on here for years, and gave a lot of good orientation and teaching on SSTV. So I am so happy to hear him and hear that he's around, because I have not heard from him for years. So I hope he's enjoying what he's watching here if you got onto YouTube. That is a very, very curious backpack with a cat inside. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I guess the cat is cozy and happy in there. It looks kind of cramped, but I guess the cat's used to it. And I guess the alternative may be to leave the cat alone at home, and that is not perhaps what the cat wants. So yeah, very interesting. Back to net. This is Killer Papa for Mike Delta.
Thanks, Carol. Neil, KO7HQR. Tell us who these people are.
KO7HQR. I cannot tell you who the people are. The story behind this, I think Joe has always hit the nail on the head. It's a In-N-Out burger. Bob and I, N6BGQ and I, were out having a hamburger the other day, and when he noticed this, of course, I have a cat that looks similar to that, Mr. Thunder, also known as Mr. T, and it was fascinating. I have, like Carol, I have never seen this before. Joe says he has. And the young lady and the gentleman with the cat were there sitting together. They're a pair. And at least in my eyes, that was very strange. Bob asked to take a picture. Immediately I want to take a picture. And before we knew, there was a whole bunch of people taking pictures of them. I'm not so sure our cat would be as that calm. You know, he looks like Carol said, a little cramped, but obviously this one is very, very much at home. So that's basically what it is. Joel hit it again one more time. Back to net, KO7HQR.
Thanks, Neil. Okay. Joel, AI6DG, it's your turn. This is James, AE6JG. Joel, you're AI6DG. I think I messed that up. It's your turn, Joel. This is the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. Joel, go ahead.
BD120.
Thanks, Joel, AI6DG, AE6JG. I want to say hello to our viewers on YouTube, Craig, WP2N, and Gary, and Mike, K7GFM. Welcome on YouTube. Bob, N6PGQ, comments on Joel's image.
Well, if I had to guess, I would guess this is a few years old and in San Francisco. because it looks like cable car tracks with the center open for the cable, and it looks like it's probably going down Powell Street. But you know me, I guess incorrectly more than I guess right. But quality's really good. The black that has AI6DG in it and at the bottom have absolutely no pixel pops in it, and they're just a few little tiny red ones just up in the sky. This N6 PGQ.
Thanks, Bob. Kelly, K6ZK.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is San Francisco or not, but I see the railroad tracks or the trolley tracks into the distance. Interesting because I see all the lights that are lit up. This looks like a small town type of thing, but I'm looking at the blue shadows up in the dark areas. I'm not sure what they are either. I'm going to turn down other HF. Sorry about that. But interesting. I don't think this is San Francisco. This could be even like downtown Lodi, or where do they still have those trolley tracks? I have no idea. But great transmission, occasional pixel pops, but very clear transmission. It's a holiday scene, I think. Over to you, over to the net, K6CK.
Thanks, Kelly. This is James, AE6JG. Joel, AI6DG. Tell us about this.
So I'm still on a San Francisco craze and my trip of, about a month ago. So Sunday morning I get up early, and first thing I did on Thursday night, Friday morning was figure out where all the food was. And it turns out there's a Burger King that you might see a portion of the sign up the street to the left. So I was craving a Burger King for sandwich breakfast combo. So I went and got that at the Burger King. It was probably 5 or 6 in the morning, and there was no one around. So that's probably one thing that's confusing you, is seeing San Francisco with no people on it. But yep, this is cable car. The track, San Francisco. The turnstile or turntable is just behind me, and this is the line that this is at Market Street, the Market Street end, and the other end of this line is at Ghirardelli Square, the one up in the corner. I don't know if that's Powell Street or not, but it was kind of pretty with the trees lit up, no people, various colors, and yeah, very strange walking around San Francisco with no people around. Back to net, AI6DG. Oh, wait a minute, sky. The darkness is the trees that are just dark green, and the blue is the sky with the sun not quite up yet, but it's still lit up enough to get that blue. Back to net, AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. That's very cool. My first reaction was Heidelberg. I was there a long time ago, except the spaces are wider, but it's a nice scene. Thanks. Anders, NR6H, it's your turn.
Very cool picture, Joel. I love the sky there. So this will be PD120.
N6NA AE6JG. Good image. I see you on the back of the cart, but I don't want to give anything away. Jen, KI1TTY.
Hi, this is KI1TTY. Actually, I just love the fact that you've got your script N6NA on the street. That's lovely. Looks like we've got a mid to late 1700s outfitted gentleman on the back of a carriage, taking at least one, if not several people. Maybe it's a bride with is it 4-horse carriage, and then an eatery on the back side. And I have no clue where this is, but I don't have any pixel pops on my picture at all, and it looks wonderful. KI1TTY, back to net.
Thanks, Jen. George, N6YG.
Well, I don't have anything for the net. I just would like to say hi to Carol and tell her thank you very much. I apologize that I've been absent for so long. It didn't seem like it had been that long, but I guess we can discuss that later. And I was watching on YouTube, and I just closed it down trying to sign into my N6YG account, and for some reason I can't. So I can't really comment on the picture. I lost it before I had a chance to really look at it.
All right, George, no problem, and I'll come back to you. Maybe you can get your computer rebooted. But I know folks are glad to have you back. And if you hadn't heard, there's a breakfast this Saturday, a club breakfast this Saturday at Brookfields at Madison and 80. Information is on the N6NA.org website. But I'll come back around to you. Neil, KL7HQR, comments on Anders' picture.
Yeah, as KL7HQR, as it was said, it's a carriage with what appears to be 4 horses. I've talked to Anders on the phone earlier last week. We talked about possibly getting some pictures of Stockholm. So I wonder if this is one that he found in his history box of some Stockholm pictures. But the quality is very good. The resolution and the sharpness is not that good to see specific facial expressions, but so it may not be such a new vintage picture, but a very good copy. Back to net.
Thanks, Neil. I think they may still have royalty in Sweden. Anders, NR6H, tell us about this.
There you go. That is correct. We're circling in on the answer here. This is royalty. This is the girl in the carriage there in white. She's waving towards the camera direction, and her name is Crown Princess Victoria Bernadotte. She is the next in succession for the Swedish crown, and so she's the oldest kid, and she's in that carriage with her family. Her husband and daughter is in that carriage also, and this is a few years old. This picture, I was in Sweden and happened to see this parade go by, and it's on July 14th, and that is Crown Princess Victoria's birthday. So what does royalty do on their birthday? Well, they take an old carriage drawn by horses and move around town and wave to people. That's their thing, I guess. So picture is actually taken, and Neil, you are so right. This picture is actually taken at that square that we talked about on the phone. So this is one from the side of that square. So if you get there, you will see that store in the background there. This is Lindex, and there's a bookstore actually on the upper floor in that building behind the carriage. So that's what's going on here. Short story, NR6H, back to net.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for sharing that, Anders. Jen, KI1TTY, your turn.
Copy that. Just give me a second. It'll be PD 120.
Thanks, Jen. A very interesting image. Looks like termite nests that are hanging from a tree. Let me see if George N6YG got his computer up and running. George, are you able to see that? Kelly, K6ZK.
Interesting photo of hanging things that appear to be like wasp nests, but of course don't look that way. I'm not sure if they're man-made or not, but hanging from a tree. It's good, by the way. All the transmissions that I've been very clear. Occasional pixel pops, but very, very clear. I'm not sure that what we're looking at are these man-made, but the one off to the middle, which is the most interesting looking, that I would be scared if that would be a hornet's nest or whatever, but the other white one that's hanging down, I'm not so sure about this, and I can't really identify it. I don't think it's natural, but anyway, let's say what the person who took this and see what he says. Okay, K6CK, over to the net.
Thanks, Kelly. This is Net Control AE6JG for the River City ARC Slow Scan TV Net, Wednesday nights at 9. Carol, KP4MD, comments on this image?
Yeah, this is KP4MD. Wow. I don't know. It looks like some kind of a hive of some sort. What are these? Termite hives or some other kind of wasp or beehives hanging off a tree. But very interesting, very curious picture. I don't think this is a fruit or a natural growth that's coming off this tree. Very, very, very nice. Hardly any pixel pops. Nice, clear, sharp picture. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
Thanks, Carol. Jen, before you tell us about this, Kelly, you'll be up next, K6ZK. Jen, go ahead.
Kilo India 1 Tango Tango Yankee. So on my 60th birthday, my partner took me to Peru, and you saw my Machu Picchu picture. Well, part of it, because I'm a birder, we went to Amazon to an eco lodge, and we went canoeing amongst the tight little washed out areas, and this was one of the things that we passed by, and they are wasp/hornets nests. There might be one termite nest tucked in between the smallest bell and the medium bell, and it was one of, I was actually wearing pants the whole trip, which is not my favorite thing to do. It was one of the most sweltering days in there, and we got to see some great birds, alligators, which was also exciting, and a few other things. It's all in photography, but this was one of my favorite pictures because it was so unusual. I've never seen something like this. The largest one is over 2 feet long, pretty big. Anyway, that's my trip. That's my story. And Kilo Indy 1 Tango Tango Yankee back to AE6JG.
Thank you, Jen. That's really interesting. K7GFM thought it might have been Nicaragua. He's watching on YouTube tonight. Okay, Kelly, it's your turn to share an image. K6ZK, go ahead.
Let's change up to Robot 72. Sorry about that. I know you guys love PD 120, but it's Robot 72 coming at you now.
Kelly, K6ZK, AE6JG here. Sounds like a mic was open. I don't know if you can see what you sent, but it's a ghosted image, so it didn't come through properly. Are you able to see it?
I actually did not. And also looking at my the image coming out. So anyway, sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure. I could probably set this into FM data mode, but anyway, I'm just going to pass on sending you guys anything tonight, but I'm not sure why. So, you know what? Next to the net.
Thanks, Kelly. At the end of the net, if you want to do some testing, I'd be happy to work with you on that. But since we have it up, I'm going to try to get comments, Kelly, and then you can tell us what it is. Anders, NR6H, you want to take a stab at this?
Yeah, so I was playing with my audio here and tried to crank it up and EQ out the creaking of the chair and things like that. Still got I got some kind of silhouette. It looks pretty artsy. Lots of colored pixels, and it looks like a round table with a pot or two pots, a small and larger pot on it. And well, the way it looks on my picture, it looks like a skeleton is sitting in the center, and then maybe a cat with a hat going on the side, or a hat on the like 45 degrees on the cat's head on the left side of the picture. So that's what I see. Looks really interesting, but it's probably not right. NR6H, back to net.
Thanks, Anders. AE6JG. I see the skeletons too. It's a really interesting photo, even as it came through. Kelly, do you want to tell us what this is?
Hi. Okay, I did my best, but yeah, this is my wife and I after some extreme diets. It's a Halloween shot of both of us, and anyway, I'm sorry about the technical issues here, but anyway, that's me and my wife, and it's Halloween thing, and we are the skeletons. Okay, over to the net.
That's excellent. Well, remember, no need to apologize, because the whole reason we're doing this is for practice. And we all have issues once in a while, and we work together to resolve them. So I think it's great. And I love the photo that you shared. Carol, KB4MD, are you ready to share an image?
Yeah, I sure am. And I just want to say, yeah, I heard the chair creaking. I heard the fidgeting. There was a live open microphone. And the level of modulation from SSTV was very low. It was like maybe 1 or 2% modulation. The level was just extremely low, as if it was just a little bit bleeding through some kind of crosstalk. It definitely was not the full modulation of SSTV getting into the transmitter. It was primarily the open microphone, because I could hear you moving around there. So okay, this is going to be, let me flip back to PD120, and this is it, KP4MD.
Carol, we lost the signal.
Let me try one more time. One more time.
You got it. Came through, Carol. This is AE6JG. Joel, AI6DG. Comments?
Okay, so it looks like we've got two identical things sitting side by side. We've got a USB port, A and A port, USB A, on the top of this panel. So everything I'm describing is on the left side and the right side. Interestingly enough, it's got in-text USB up, forward, up and down, and then upside down on the left and the right. So one side's up and one side's down. M-Power, E-M-P-O-W-E-R. Looks like there's a green light above that logo. The logo's on the right side in the middle. And maybe like a power switch or a switch in the center there. And then at the bottom we've got, I see labeling that says 110V and something else. Oh, 60 hertz, but it's upside down. Why is it upside down? Oh, and then we've got that on the right. Okay, so the bottom left, we've got 110 on the top of something that's upright, and below it is 60 hertz labeled upside down. And on the right side, the opposite side of the bottom, we've got 60 hertz on the top upright and upside down 110 V below it with maybe some other switches. I'm confused. Why do we have things upright and upside down in duplication? And the resolution's just not bad enough. I can tell whether I'm looking at switches or plugs or what. So, yeah, as usual, a good picture for slow scan night is something that we can't figure out and we need explained because we're just getting confused and all interested. In other words, back to Net AI6DG.
Thanks, Joel. This is AE6JG. I'm going to see if George is still with us. N6YG. Are you able to see that image?
On the page. And Carol, that's a good one. I'm not sure what I'm looking at. I'm not going to repeat everything that Joel said. In the middle, though, I'm not sure what that is in the middle. That kind of reminds me, it looks like there might be a spade plug in there, or a spade connector or something. It almost looks like an AC connector for a power cord. I think HP might have used something like that, or laptops have used something similar like that. It looks like it's designed to be used in either direction. You can turn it over on one side or the other, because everything repeats itself except it's reversed. So maybe a power box of some kind supplies power. Maybe that's to charge your phones with. I don't know. It looks a little old for that. Vintage equipment, not old. That's not the proper word. So we'll say vintage equipment. Anyhow, with that, I'll send it back to Net, N6YG.
Thanks, George. Bob, N6PGQ.
Well, I can't add too much to it. A few pixel pops throughout. You can notice it in the black. I don't know if it says the 110 volt, and it might say 240 down at the bottom. I can't quite figure it out. My resolution's not real good on my monitor here. And might be something hertz on the right side, and AD something adjust maybe on the very bottom. I'll be interested to see what it is. Above M power, it looks like a little picture of a computer possibly, but we'll find out when Carol lets us know in N6PGQ.
That's an excellent segue. Carol, KP4MD.
Okay, yeah, this is KP4MG. Oh, good. I got a good stumper. This was a picture that I took while I was on the flight back from New York to here. So that should tip you right off. This is the aircraft in-seat power outlet. I was sitting down and I wanted to plug in my smartphone to charge, and I couldn't really quite read from the distance with my seatbelt on, so I put my smartphone right down in front of this outlet, and I took a snapshot of it so I could see what it is that I have to plug into. The top is a regular USB-A power outlet that I guess puts out what 5 volts or whatever, and then down below it there's actually it's an AC power outlet. It's got the common pin on the top, and then there's the 2 slots down below it. It's not very clear, but where it says 110 volts, 60 hertz, that's the AC outlet, and there's one on the left and one on the right. I'm not exactly sure what that rectangular hole is in the center. It's not very clear. Perhaps there was something there that was damaged, but yes, there is a little green LED that's on showing that the outlet is live. So cute little stumper there. I'm glad worked. Back to Nets, KP4MD.
Thanks, Carol. Yeah, you stumped us all. George, I'm about to send an image, and I will probably be the last one, unless you want to try to send one tonight, N6YG.
I am not even close to set up for that. I barely got this radio set up as it is. I decided I wanted to bounce some signals off the International Space Station, only because I got fed up with some flat earthers on Facebook. So I decided to bounce some APRS signals off the International Space Station, and then so I set this radio up and enjoying it a little bit. N6YG, back to Net.
Oh, that's a good story. Thanks, George. All right, well, this is James, Net Control for River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. I am AE6JG, and I'm going to send an image, PD120. Valley, K6ZK.
You know, nice lake scene. Not enough to tell me where this is. I couldn't even tell you what lake it is, but foreground shows a lot of green. By the way, scattered pixel pops, but all our transmissions tonight have been coming in for me very nice. Looking at some tree foliage that's down toward the middle of the screen, and just not sure where it is, but it's a great lake scene. But nothing that jumps out at me about where this would be. I couldn't tell you if this was Folsom Lake or Clear Lake or anywhere. It could be anywhere. But great shot. Over to the net, K6CK.
Thanks. Craig online on YouTube is asking whether it's Folsom Lake as well. Anders, NR6H.
So my guess is not Folsom Lake, and actually I wouldn't even say that this is a local lake because pretty much all the lakes around here have more mountains around them. So I don't feel that this is a lake anywhere near Sacramento. I think we'd have to go, well, maybe there's something down the valley. It looks like fairly flat terrain around it though, so that's maybe it's not even a lake. Maybe it's a bay. Maybe it's the ocean we're looking at there. But yeah, hard to say. Beautiful picture though, nicely framed. Sun is coming down through the tree on the left side there, framing the picture nicely, and yeah, looking down the little slant against the beach there. So yeah, looking forward to hear where it is. And R6H, back to net.
Thanks, Anders. One last comment. Neil, KL7HQR.
Roger, KL7HQR. I agree with Anders. You know, it seems to be very flat, but with the position of the sun, it could be after sunrise or about sunset. But if it is one of the lakes in California, well, hooray, we're all getting back to full again. But I'm very curious to know where it is because the foreground is greenish yellow, and very curious to know what it is. The picture came across well, however, a lot of picture pops there on the water side. Back to it.
Thanks, Neil. This is AE6JG. Well, I took this on Saturday. I went with some friends on a hike, and this is the new Malonis Reservoir down Highway 49 near Angels Camp. And it actually was lower than I thought it should be, but I think they're keeping space as the runoff from the mountains begins to hit the reservoirs and the lakes. So that was just a shot from the hike. Rattlesnakes were active, although we didn't see any, thankfully, because it was morning. And lots of poison oak, which we avoided. So that's it. Good guesses, good comments, good net tonight, everybody. I love it when we have a large turnout, and look forward to next week. Before I close the net, any last comments?
KL7HQR, you said it's on 49. What part of 49?
It's near Angels Camp, about 20 miles north of Sonora. 20 miles north of Sonora.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. Glad to see that you didn't get any good close-up of rattlesnakes. Good net. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah, I have some other pictures that maybe I'll share over the next few weeks. Before I forget, I just want to announce that this Saturday at 3 p.m. we have our 40-meter net on 7.181. So hopefully folks can join that. And in 3 p.m. on Saturday afternoon. And in the morning, I think it's 8:30 a.m. at Brookfields at Madison and 80 River City Arcs will be having a monthly breakfast. Any other comments before I close the net?
And R6H.
Go ahead, Anders.
Yeah, I have a little bit of fill for Carol's picture there. We can take that after you close the net, but just have a little more information about what that is in R6H.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you go ahead and then I'll close the net.
So real quick, the big holes in that thing are it's an outlet, right? So it's a socket, and it's designed to fit everything. So it's got holes for all types of international power prongs. So at the bottom there, if you look really careful, you can see that there are holes or vertical holes for our U.S. type blade type power plugs, and the hole in the middle is simply for I believe it's the Italian type that has a pin in the middle, a round pin in the middle that is the ground pin. And then the ones higher up there, they're for the UK ones. So UK has these massive plugs they actually have a fuse inside of the plug itself, but which is mandatory. But they have massive prongs for the phase and the neutral, and then an even bigger one for the ground that goes into the big hole in the center of that plate there. So what that is simply a fit everything plate, and that's also why it's running 110 volts, because it's the lowest voltage that is used internationally. So typically, if you have a 220 or 240 modern type adapter, it would still work on 110, and it's running 60 hertz for the same reason that. Even though Europe is running 50, but it's just they just chose that, so it will work and certainly not burn up any type of equipment that you plug into that socket. So that's what that is. I've been staring at those, and I've been annoyed by the same thing that Joel said, that why are they printing half of the information upside down, and why didn't they put the logo also upside down if they did everything else twice and upside down? So I don't know. I've been staring at those for many hours in my life, and know what they are. NR6H, back to net.
Thanks, Anders. That's good to know. So, Carol, you are on a plane that goes everywhere, it sounds like. Any comments?
No, it makes perfect sense. Universal outlet that accommodates all of the different plug standards. Of course, that way one plane that could be used in different parts of the world, and adaptable to everything that the passengers would carry. Thank you so much for that explanation, KP4MD.
Okay, with that, I'll close the net. Thanks to everybody who participated in tonight's Slow Scan TV Net. We hope to see you again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. The net is officially closed at 10:07 p.m. This is James Alpha Echo 6 Juliet Golf wishing all